Welcome back to another Sunday walk video. Unfortunately today I can't do it in the forest outside because it is thunderstorming right now. So hey, I thought I'd do it in my sports court today. There's really not much to talk about. There's one thing on everyone's mind, and that is Bitcoin gonna go lower? And if so, how low, right? So that's the point of this video. And we'll talk a little bit about Bitcoin, share some thoughts, and you know what, just for the hell of it, I'll take some shots, right? Maybe if I could hit a certain amount of shots, it's gonna make Bitcoin flip upwards this week, right? Who knows, just for fun. So as for Bitcoin, you guys know that Bitcoin has been stuck. In fact, right now, Bitcoin just went down a little bit lower to about 56,000 this weekend. We were trying to climb back up. Bitcoin was going back up again, about 57, 58, and it hit a little bit higher before that. But we just get these random dips out of nowhere, right? You could see it in the charts where the Bitcoin chart goes upwards a little bit, and all of a sudden, boom, it goes down, right? So obviously, there are people that are selling right now. So right before this video, I decided to look at Arkham and I wanted to see if Germany was selling again. So far, no. It does seem like over the course of the last day or two, there have been many, like 700 Bitcoin movement. There's this other address that Arkham has not been able to identify, but it does seem like it's some kind of exchange or some kind of brokerage, because 700 gets sent there and it just like disappears. There's nothing in that wallet. So it does seem like it's probably a hot wallet or for some kind of exchange that hasn't been identified, maybe Binance, right? So they are continuously selling 700 Bitcoin. They still have $2.2 billion left. So that's quite a lot, right? It does seem like they want to continue to sell. It does seem like they don't want to stop unless, I mentioned this, their parliament, members of their parliament puts a stop to it, and they're like, hey, this is not the right time to do it. Maybe we should hold some Bitcoin, right? Maybe we shouldn't sell off everything that we hold because other governments are starting to embrace it. So unless they have some kind of emergency injunction or something like that to stop it, it does seem like whoever controls the wallet will continue to sell, right? So that's the unfortunate thing. And also, of course, the Mt. Gox fears, right? Whether or not everyone that will be distributed Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash will dump, we don't know. Right now, we could see some whale selling, but it's hard to know if they are actually like Mt. Gox creditors or just whale selling because they're scared of the FUD. So we don't know. No one has 100% come out and says, oh yeah, we received 10,000 Bitcoin, we're gonna sell it all. Like, so we haven't seen reports like that, but you can put two and two together, right? In terms of some large whale sending tens of millions to hundreds of millions to Binance to sell, you figure maybe it's due to some of these creditors receiving their Bitcoin back. So unfortunately, because of these two like events that we really can't control, it's not within the realm of something we could control, there will be FUD, and there will be FUD probably for a while, right? So if Bitcoin continues to sell off this week, I definitely think there's exhaustion. There's seller exhaustion, right? But when it comes to Mt. Gox and when it comes to German government, they don't really care about exhaustion. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to be looking at the charts. They're not going to be doing anything. They're just going to sell if they need to sell, right? But I do think there is seller exhaustion. That's why last week we actually had a very plus inflow day for ETFs. So if you look at TA, you look at some of these levels that we're at, we're definitely oversold. We're seeing seller exhaustion, and we're seeing buying, right? That's why we're seeing ETF inflows. In fact, BlackRock started buying hundreds of millions again. So that tells you something. However, like I said, all this does not matter if Germany decides to continue to dump and Mt. Gox creditors dump, right? So how low can we actually go? I was looking at a chart. I can't show you right now. I was looking at charts. If we continue to break down, our next level, kind of like our next support level, will be around 51,000, 52,000. We stood there a little bit, briefly on the way up before shooting up to the 70s. So if we do continue lower, that will probably be the next support point. Now, if we break through that, okay, then my friends, we may have some problems because the next support level below that is around 42,000. That kind of shows you how fast we went up. Because when we're in the 30s, we broke up to the 40s. We stood at 42,000 for a long time. Many months. Before we broke into the 52 level, and then we just kept going to 60 and 70, right? So now on the way down, if we continue to see heavy sell pressure, can we see that again? There's a chance. Do I think Bitcoin's gonna fall down to 42,000? No, I do not. But I'm looking at a chart, and the point of this video is that Bitcoin continues to go down, where some of the levels will hit. So I do think if we continue to see some massive selling, we could see Bitcoin maybe going and touching about 52,000. And somehow we get some massive fear, massive dumping, and we go lower. I would say 42,000 is the next stop. But I really do not think that is going to happen. I think this week will be telling. Because of seller exhaustion and because Wall Street coming in and buying, right? If they continue to buy hundreds of millions every single day, and of course the long-term investors, long-term holders are buying too. You could see that. You can see accumulation addresses rising up again. You can see the volume actually increasing. I do think a lot of long-term holders are definitely buying, taking advantage of the dip, and that's that, right? So it just comes down to basically, you just have to have patience, right? And I know during scary times, people don't like to hear that. People just like to, turn negative and bash people and just really call out everyone and start driving, causing a lot of FUD because there are a lot of people that are miserable and they haven't gone through it and they're trying to bring others down with them. You know what? That's just the wrong way to approach it. I've said this many times. I feel almost silly having to even say it when we're at these levels, but hey, we have seen many dips in the past. Volatility is definitely something you have to get used to when you're investing in crypto. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin or Doge or SHIB or Cardano or Solana, there will be volatility. Just go look at previous charts of previous cycle. Look at what happened in 2021 and look at what happened in 2017. Many dips. You go up, dip. Sometimes you go sideways for a long time, right? Volatility is the name of the game. It's the price of admission when it comes to investing, really. Not just crypto, when it comes to investing. So I know right now we have this fuddish time, but trust me, we had many other fuddish times in the past too. Let's not forget what happened last year when SEC decided to sue everyone. All the Wells notice that they sent out one to Uniswap, they sent one to Coinbase, right? They're suing people left and right. Let's not forget CZ being arrested, and then Binance, and of course, Celsius, Voyager, and all those other, BlockFi, all the other ones that, collapsed. We had some bad times. We had some bad times. Let's not forget Luna too. We had some bad times in our last few years, right? It will always be like that. There will always be scary times. We had Mt. Gox FUD for how many years? 10 years now? People have been waiting, and finally it's here. It's like by this, this time around, it's really just let's just get over with. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Let's not let it linger anymore, especially with Mt. Gox. And I know creditors are like, give me my Bitcoin back, right? But yeah, we have seen many bad events, many fuddish events, black swan events, and despite it all, Bitcoin continues to move forward. It does not care. It doesn't really care about any of these things, right? It's just pure. That's why so many of us support it, because you can't change it. You can't inflate it more than its schedule, right? You can't apply monetary policy to it. You can't disrupt it. You can't corrupt it, really, right? All money is corrupted. Governments are corrupted. Anything that's controlled by man basically becomes corrupt. And that's why Bitcoin is decentralized, controlled by code that are secured by thousands and thousands of miners around the world. So even if a group of individuals or a country try to change it or shut it down or do something to it, they can't, because it is decentralized and unlike any other form of money out there around the world, right? So again, I know it's scary at times. Just stay strong, guys. I know that sounds cliche at this time, right? Stay strong, DCA, have patience. You know, you've heard me say it so many times, but honestly, that's the ultimate strategy when it comes to investing Bitcoin and crypto. It really is. You know, I've even proved it with my DCA portfolio. All I've been doing is adding $100 every week. I don't do any fancy analysis, don't do any fancy charting, and it is still up. And we'll see what it is this week. Maybe the market drops so low that it is not up anymore. But I'm certain, I'm confident by the end of this cycle, it will be, and it will be way, 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 way higher than when I first started. And I did start that even in 2021, right? But I'm pretty confident that it is going to stay green. And by the end of the cycle, it's going to be 10 to 20 times higher than when I started. So, yeah, so just have patience, guys. I know it's fuddish. We can't control the German government. We can't control Mt. Gox, but what you can control is what you do with your own portfolio, right? You can't control whether you HODL and DCA, right? That is what you can control. So in times of this, it's best to focus on what you can control and worry less about what you can't. That's really what it comes down to. All right, that's it for this video. It's kind of short. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take some shots. And, you know, we're going to have some fun with it. I did this really early when I finished my sports court. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to take some shots, okay? I'm going to take some... to be honest, I have not been practicing my three-point shots. I've been doing more like free throw, like 15 to 18 footers. Let's just take a few, all right? Let's see. If I could hit 3 out of 5, I'd say this is going to be a good week. If I hit less than 3 out of 5, let's just say it's not going to be a good week. All right, let's do this. I warmed up a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Two for 4. There we go. All right. 3 for 5. There you have it. So this week is going to be good. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Take care. Bye-bye.